from Chicago's #1 news, this is ABC 7 Eyewitness News at 11.
A local author has created a new book called Balloons for Tiger. This is it right here. It's aimed at helping children through what can be a very difficult time losing a pet. Lori Olinsky is joining us now, as well as Elliot Serrano from the Anti-Cruelty Society. Thank you so much both for joining us. Lori, let's actually start with you. You created this book, the book again, Balloons for Tiger. What was the inspiration?
We had a cat who was 18 years old, and at the time my kids were 4 and 2, and we had to unexpectedly put her down. And this was the first time my kids had ever dealt with the loss of a pet, of anybody close to them. And so we decided to do a balloon release as a tangible way for them to let go of their grief. But the balloon release ended up leading to more questions than answers, because they would ask me every day where the balloons were, if their grandpa saw their balloons when he was flying on a plane, if they got tangled up in a power line. And so I ended up just making a beautiful story out of it. And it was a way to still keep Tiger's memory alive, but in a whimsical way. I felt at the time the only books that were out there about loss were very, very religious and spiritual. And I wasn't ready to have that conversation with them at that young age.
Right. Oh, I can only imagine. That's really a tough topic to broach, death. And Elliot, this next question is for you, because losing a pet can be really tough for anyone, but how can parents kind of handle it, especially such a sensitive subject, when they talk about it with their kids?
Well, the first thing is you have to decide on having that conversation. There are way too many times when parents want to put it off or they want to avoid it. They might feel that they want to minimize the death of a pet just to help blunt that emotional trauma that kids go through. So deciding on it and making sure that the kids know that their feelings are valid, that the grief that they're going through is valid.
Lori, I want to get back to you. You actually wrote this book. Can you walk me through the process of writing a book, getting it published? Did you do it yourself? How did that happen?
Absolutely. This is my third book, and so I'm thrilled to have been able to work with the same publisher, Mascot Books, and the same illustrator, Vanessa Alexandri, all 3 times. And I really tapped into my kids' imagination. I almost think of myself as the messenger rather than the writer, because my daughters thought of so many of the scenarios in the book. You see that the balloons fly on a superhero's cape on their way up to the Rainbow Bridge, and the balloons see the Tooth Fairy, and my girls came up with that. And so it was just about, getting that information out of them and working with the illustrator to make sure we had a lot of detail and color. We didn't want to make this book dark and sad. We wanted to make it whimsical and just something that's acceptable to read, whether you lose a pet or not. It's just about a beautiful journey that these balloons go through, and it really keeps Tiger's memory alive for my daughters. And I've heard from so many other people that have lost pets, and they said it's a wonderful way to keep their memory alive of their pets as well.
Lori, thank you so much. Again, the book is called Balloons for Tiger. Lori and Elliot, thank you so much for joining us. If you are interested in Balloons for Tiger, it is available now. Part of the proceeds go to the Anti-Cruelty Society.
What a great idea and a great message.